What's up guys, Andy here, and welcome to my review of BullGuard VPN. Now, as a brainchild of an antivirus company called BullGuard and a premium VPN provider called BullGuard VPN should have a lot to offer. But honestly, ever since its launch in 2019, BullGuard VPN hasn't been as popular as some of the other premium VPN. So is this because of its bad service or just because it's not well known? Well, lucky for you, I decided to put it to the test, and my test showed BullGuard VPN is fast, but not good for streaming. It has standard security features, including a kill switch for extra protection. So nonetheless, I was troubled by its overwhelming privacy policy and minor flaws such as a lack of an ad blocker, an inability to bypass VPN blocks, and no support for the Tor browser. However, I would say overall, BullGuard is a good value VPN with monthly and annual plans starting at about $3 per month. Now, there is a 7-day trial, but it's only available to existing antivirus customers. So if that's you, great, you get a 7-day trial. Next, I was concerned about its limited device capability and found that it only works with Windows, Mac OS, iOS, and Android. And while its server network is small, the VPN has built a simple and speedy solution for beginners. Okay, so one more thing that was immediately clear to me when I was testing BullGuard VPN, and is that it's not very good at bypassing geo-blocks. This makes it less than desirable for streaming, as I mentioned earlier, and one of the main reasons why people get VPNs. In my testing with BullGuard, I couldn't unblock Netflix US, UK, Germany, or Canada, Amazon Prime Video, BBC iPlayer, Disney Plus in any country, Hulu, HBO, UK TV, Showtime, YouTube TV, or ESPN. Now that's quite a list of things to be missing out when you're looking for streaming offers. In the end, I could only watch YouTube, which isn't that impressive since it's so widely available. Now, looking back to BullGuard, I tested 5 servers in the UK, US, Australia, Singapore, and Spain. And I was able to stream music, TV shows, and some documentaries without lag or buffering, which was great. Now, when I connected to the UK server, it directed me to YouTube GB, where I watched Lost World of the Maya on the National Geographic Channel, which is great, by the way. Thankfully, the content loaded fast and I didn't experience any buffering. So far, so good. However, I couldn't unblock Netflix on any of the 5 servers that I tested. When I connected to the US server to watch the latest episode of New Girl, Netflix displayed the NSES 404 error. Yes, this error shows when you try to watch shows outside of your region, which suggests that BullGuard wasn't masking my location properly. And then I tested the Canadian and UK servers, but again, Netflix displayed a similar 404 error. So because of these issues, I would recommend using a better VPN to unblock Netflix. Now for that, my top choice is ExpressVPN. And in case you want to learn more, I'll put a link to a full review of it in the video description just below there. Now, next in line was Amazon Prime Video, for which I connected to the US server. But APV detected the VPN and asked me to switch it off. And actually, a similar thing happened with Disney Plus. Actually, I couldn't even log in. I just got a blank screen when I connected to the US server. So I switched to the UK server, but the same blank screen appeared. Yes, I also tried streaming BBC iPlayer on BullGuard's UK server, but it couldn't bypass its strict VPN detection system. So BBC iPlayer detected that I wasn't in the UK and stopped me from streaming. On the upside, I found BullGuard's VPN to be fast and consistent. And during my testing, I observed the download and upload speeds and my connection's response time. Now, to find out exactly how BullGuard affects the speed, I first took a reading of my baseline connection. And my starting speed was 30.6 megabytes per second for downloads, 20.93 megabytes per second for upload speed, and 24 milliseconds of ping. Now, these numbers are important because they allow me to calculate the speed loss percentage. Now, you can do this yourself by applying this percentage to your own connection and calculate what your speed is likely to be when you're using BullGuard. Yes, it is normal for the VPN to reduce your speed a little bit. I understand that, but most premium VPNs don't slow you down by more than, around 20%. Then, using Ookla and the OpenVPN protocol, I tested 9 locations where I got consistent download and upload speeds. I lost the most upload speed on the Singaporean server at 22%, while the UK server lost the most download speed at 32%. I expected this since my data had to be traveling further. Next, I found that BullGuard has a quick connect feature that chooses the fastest server for you based on your location. This means you don't have to test multiple servers before you find the best one. So I clicked on the quick connect button, which connected me to, I think it was the Australian server, and it was fast and stable. However, the German server was actually faster for me, so perhaps this feature wasn't working properly for me or something, I don't know. Now overall, I'll say I was impressed with the server's consistent speeds. Even though they were a little slower than I had hoped for, I was happy with it. And I didn't notice any slowdowns while I was browsing. Even on the UK server, the drop in speed was minimal. Are these speeds fast enough for gaming? Yes, absolutely. Thanks to its consistent download and upload speeds, BullGuard is a solid choice for gaming. So technically, with a speed of at least 6 megabytes per second, you should be able to play most online games with very, very little lag. However, this will depend largely on your base connection speed, like we were talking about earlier. But if you're getting more than 7 megabytes without a VPN, BullGuard is by far fast enough for gaming, so don't worry about that. So next, I connected to the Singaporean server, which gave me a ping of 180 milliseconds. And I played a little of my favorite shooter game, Strike Zone. And initially the game loaded quickly, but once I started playing, it was a bit laggy. For the best experience, your ping should be below 150 milliseconds. And another aspect that I looked into during my testing was BullGuard's VPN server network. I have to say that it is limited, but with strong connections. Now, I say limited because it is a server network with 2,000 servers in only 16 countries. Now, this is fairly restrictive since it means you can't access blocked websites from other locations. Still, in my experience, BullGuard offers stable connection despite its sparse server network. And it has server locations including the US, UK, Australia, France, Norway, Germany, Singapore, and a few others. And if you're based in Europe, then you're in luck, as most of its servers are European. Better server choices means you can connect to a local server for the better speeds and more stable connections. Now let's talk about security. And for me, it's pretty average with standards and features. But to be clear, BullGuard VPN is secure. However, for a VPN that borrows heavily from NordVPN's model, I expected more sophisticated features, just to be honest with you. Thankfully, it does use military-grade AES 256-bit encryption. This is the same level of encryption that governments and ISPs use to secure their data, and it's practically impenetrable. So no one should be able to track your online activity, and it keeps you safe from hackers. Now, I personally couldn't find any information about encryption on their website, but their support confirms that it does, in fact, use AES 256-bit. So there you have it. Another cool feature is that BullGuard hosts its own DNS server. Now, this is a huge security benefit because it means that it keeps all your DNS requests within the network, so they can't be leaked. And I tested it for DNS and WebRTC leaks, and it passed. So that's good. Also, BullGuard does feature a kill switch that safeguards you in case the VPN disconnects unexpectedly. This protects you even further from leaks and hackers. I had a slight connection lapse during testing, and the kill switch kicked in immediately, which is great. Once my connection was restored, it reconnected to the VPN without a hitch. So that was great. Now, fortunately, BullGuard uses OpenVPN by default, and this is, for my money, the safest and most commonly used protocol. It's open source and it has been audited by lots and lots of security professionals. But if you're on iOS, you also get the choice of using IPv2 or IPsec protocol, which are very stable and fast. But I personally still recommend using OpenVPN because it's much safer. So then on the Windows side, you get an invisibility on LAN settings that hides your device even further from people on your local network. And I'd recommend switching that on if you're using this on a public Wi-Fi because it helps you hide from hackers and malicious attackers and that sort of thing. However, this is where the premium features stop. I mean, I'd love to see the addition of split tunneling, double VPN, maybe a malware blocker in the future to get BullGuard up to speed with its competitors, because a lot of those features are made readily available by some of the others. And unfortunately, I found that BullGuard's privacy policy is questionable at best. They collect and track your personal information. They claim not to record your browsing activity, but their VPN service collects your IP address, your browser type and version, operating system, device information, and your time zone. Now, that's a lot of information, and it's risky because if it were to be leaked or hacked, third parties could use this data to identify you, no problem. BullGuard's policy also states that it may share your personal information with third parties, including credit reference agencies and advertisers when the situation requires it. So I would not recommend this VPN if privacy is on the top of your list, and it should be. Also, its London location isn't ideal for privacy because it's within the scope of the Five Eyes Alliance. This means that the government can force BullGuard to share the data it collects about you. Now, on the upside, BullGuard VPN does allow torrenting. Now, there are no P2P optimized servers. However, you don't need them. Instead, you can use any of its servers to torrent with BitTorrent, Transmission, uTorrent, or Views. So I was impressed that BullGuard automatically selects the fastest server for you. This means that you don't have to worry about testing multiple servers, and you can start downloading right away, right? It chose the German server for me, which based on my tests was the fastest for my location by far. So that worked out pretty good. My pre-VPN was already quite slow, so when I connected to the server, my connection only ran at around 20.5 megabytes per second, and it took me about 5 minutes to download a 5 gigabyte file from the public domain. Again, if your base speed is faster than mine, then you'll likely have even better results, but that was my situation. Now, of course, I don't encourage the torrenting of copyrighted files or torrenting in areas where it's illegal, so be sure to check your country's rules and regulations before you use BullGuard for torrenting. I just want to make that clear. Now, you might be wondering, does BullGuard VPN work in China? And unfortunately, no. BullGuard VPN doesn't have the security needed to bypass the Great Firewall of China. And in order to bypass this strict firewall, VPNs need strong obfuscation that can get through the deep inspection that it uses. Without this, the firewall will detect that you're using a VPN and block your connection. So I contacted support to double check, and their response left me a little confused. They said that I should be able to use the VPN in China, but this can't be true because it simply does not have the feature to operate there. All right, so what about simultaneous device connections? BullGuard VPN allows you to connect 6 devices with one account. This makes it a decent value VPN because you don't need to buy multiple subscriptions to protect all your computers and phones. Now, to test this, I connected my phone, tablet, and laptop at the same time. I thought that having multiple devices connected would slow me down, but it honestly, it didn't. I didn't experience any issues. Also, BullGuard VPN is compatible with various devices, including Windows, Mac OS, iOS, and Android. But sadly, it doesn't have any browser extensions, and it's not compatible with Fire TV sticks, Chromebooks, or Linux. And normally you could get around this by installing the VPN on your router, as this automatically covers all devices connected to it, but not with BullGuard. So this means you're out of luck if you're hoping to use it on your gaming console or smart TV. All the apps have a similar layout with an easy-to-use interface, which is good. You will likely find it simple to navigate even if you're a beginner. Getting started on a desktop is easy. At least I found it easy. You just need to click on the quick connect button, and this finds the fastest server, or you can choose your desired location from the list on the left. It only took me about, 15 seconds to pick a server and connect, and then I was ready to go. Also, I noticed that you can also save your favorite locations so you can find them faster next time, which is kind of nice. My only criticism is that I think BullGuard should alphabetize the server list to help you choose more quickly. It seems like an easy thing to do that would just make it easier. I noticed that the kill switch was turned off by default, which strikes me pretty dangerous. If I hadn't noticed this before I connected, I wouldn't have been safe using the VPN. So I recommend first thing you should do is turn that on manually before you get started. The mobile apps are similar to the desktop version, but of course customized to be easier to use on your phone, of course. And the main difference is that unfortunately they don't have a kill switch to keep you protected if the VPN drops. Yes, that's right. This is a fatal security flaw because your online activity may leak if the VPN disconnects temporarily. However, I did find that BullGuard's setup and installation process is simple and user-friendly. Now, I did have to click through a few of BullGuard's other product pages to find the one relevant to the VPN services, but it didn't take very long. From that page, I clicked on the purchase button, then I chose the monthly plan, and after paying, I was automatically directed to the download page, so that was nice. Next, it only took a few seconds to download the Windows app. And honestly, there weren't many steps involved with setting the app up once I got there. So I just clicked through the installer and then used my email to log in. No problem. Also, if you have any trouble, there are helpful guides on BullGuard's site for each operating system, so you can find which one you have and find the sources that you need. And they're easy to follow, but I didn't need them because the process went perfectly fine for me, and I think it will for you as well. As far as pricing, in my opinion, BullGuard VPN prices are pretty competitive. There are 4 plans to choose from. First, the yearly plan is just under $7 a month. And then there's the 2-year plan, which is around $5 per month. Next, the 3-year plan runs about $3 per month. And the monthly plan is around $12 per month. All the plans have unlimited bandwidth, and you can use it on up to 6 devices at once. Initially, I had a little bit of trouble finding the monthly plan option. But I did finally find it, but with the help of support on the VPN's main landing page. Of course, before committing to one of the annual plans, you can always test it out thanks to their 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you opt in for the monthly plan, you get a 7-day money-back guarantee. Still, I found that the 7 days was long enough to test the VPN out to make sure that it fit my needs, but that option is there as well. Now, if you have an active subscription to any of the other BullGuard products, you will get a 25% discount on a 1-year plan and a 7-day free trial. However, this isn't available if you aren't an existing BullGuard customer. Also, BullGuard accepts payments from select credit and debit cards, including Visa, American Express, JCB, MasterCard, PayPal, and wire transfers. However, you can't use cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or Dogecoin to pay for BullGuard VPN. This, to me, I think is unfortunate because it prevents you from paying anonymously. So while BullGuard has several support options, its customer service is below average at best due to the delayed and choppy responses. Now, they do have a 24-hour live chat, but it's not available on weekends. So their support setup also has an email, product guides, a search bar, a vibrant forum, knowledgeable staff, and blogs. BullGuard's VPN app has a help link that directs you to the support page in the browser window. I clicked the link, but was disappointed to find that no VPN-focused content was right there on their landing page. So I contacted support using their live chat feature, but because it was the weekend, I had to wait for an answer. So I don't know, what's the good of having 24-hour support if it's not available all 24 hours? However, the support responded on Monday and answered my question. So the lack of 24/7 support means you're out of luck if you encounter a serious security issue and you might be without a VPN for the weekend. So just keep that in mind. I did find it helpful that all of their support options are available in various languages, including English, Danish, German, Spanish, French, and a bunch others, which is fantastic. So what is the final verdict on BullGuard VPN? In my opinion, it needs to make significant improvements before I can recommend it. Specifically, it needs to upgrade its privacy, customer support, and streaming abilities. Those three things are huge for me. So a service that's built around architecture of NordVPN, there are many features missing, surprisingly, particularly premium security features and a large server network. On the plus side, it's fast and has beginner-friendly apps. So take your pick. Still, if you're using or looking for a solid all-around VPN for streaming that offers good value for the money, I would still recommend that you choose ExpressVPN instead. That about wraps it up for my review for BullGuard VPN. But before I end this video, I would like to take a moment to answer some of the most frequently asked questions about this topic. For the first question, is BullGuard VPN safe? Well, yes. In my analysis, I found out that it has a strong security features, including a kill switch, AES 256-bit encryption, invisibility on LAN, and a custom DNS. However, it needs more advanced features to compete with the major players. Now, for my second question, can BullGuard VPN unblock Netflix? No. During my tests, I found that VPN could not access Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, BBC iPlayer, or any of the other major streaming sites. For the third and final question, will BullGuard VPN slow down my speeds? And the answer is yes, slightly. During my speed test, I found that the VPN speeds were impressive with minimal loss in download and upload speeds. But there is a loss, just very slight. And folks, with that, thank you so much for watching my video. And in case you are interested in trying out ExpressVPN, I'll put a special discount link for you in the description area below so that you can save even more money. And if you have any questions that I didn't cover in this video, please leave a comment. And don't forget to like this video if you found this review helpful. And of course, remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to stay up to date on VPNs.